What's going on, Omnibuddies? Mitch here, and today we are looking at a book that I have been stoked to look at for a very long time, especially since the movie about the creature just came out. We are looking at James Stokes' Godzilla. All right, so first things first, this story comes to us from James Stokes. It is Godzilla, and it is basically Godzilla the Half-Century War and Godzilla in Hell. So collects both that main story and that one-shot short story in one hardcover. Now this isn't a full-sized, oversized hardcover. I really wish it was. I really hope that we get an absolute size of this book, but you know what? I am really excited to at least have this book in this format right now. Let's find out why. So Godzilla by James Stokes, this deluxe edition, again, is not a full actual deluxe oversized hardcover. It is more in the premier standard hardcover format. So you are not getting that giant oversized art. Hopefully they bring that to us at some point. The Godzilla Deluxe Edition, published by IDW, is both written and illustrated by James Stokes. This collects the Half-Century War and the one-shot short Godzilla in Hell. This book retails for $39.99 USD, so you can go pick it up pretty cheap. So the Half-Century War is a critically acclaimed, always recommended fan favorite of the Godzilla series. It's been heavily out of print, and it starts in the year 1954. We're following Lieutenant Oda Murakami, and he is there at Ground Zero on the first attack of Godzilla in Japan, along with his friend Kintaro. Oda, who doesn't consider himself super brave, at least that's what I get from it, makes a huge leap and takes on Godzilla to save a ton of people. And he survives, obviously, because this is a 50-year war where he and Kintaro both go on to fight this beast and try to figure out how to bring him down. Throughout the entirety of the story, you are introduced to new monsters along the way. And throughout the years, just as they feel like they're kind of getting their feet under them, they run into many more monsters. We got Megalon, Mothra, Rodan, Ibira, Hedorah, and Batra, plus a lot more. So there is a ton of huge monster battles. The illustrations in this book are absolutely phenomenal. They give enormous scale to these monsters while these people are trying to fight back, and they are just insignificant in the face and really the footprint of these giant monsters. I love the huge cast of characters that have different teams that are assigned to each monster. They are different, they're fun, they're interesting, and you know what? I had a blast following along with them as they are trying to deal with these monsters and keep the world going. There are twists and turns along the way. This definitely kept me on my toes, with them trying to keep up and find a scientist who they're not sure what his end game is, but he seems to be able to control or lure these monsters to where he wants to go. And so not only are they trying to fight these monsters, but they're also trying to track this man down to make sure that they can put a stop to whatever plan he has going on. Every time you think this book has hit its zenith, it tops itself. And you know what? I'm not going to say exactly how, because I feel like that's a lot of spoiler for this book, but dang, I had a ton of fun along the way, and you really get to know these characters, especially Oda and his friend Kintaro, and you really feel for them emotionally. Stokes' illustrations, from his facial features to the giant landscapes and monsterscapes, are just absolutely phenomenal. I love his art, and the coloring to go along with it was just wonderful. With a lot of these monsters, you could easily get lost in the panel and just having a whole bunch of action going on and not really understanding what's happening. But Stokes pulls it off, and you always know what's going on, who's where, and all of that. The one shot of Godzilla in Hell was a super fun way to end cap this story, seeing what could have been or what does happen to Godzilla after the half-century war. I had a ton of fun with it because it is a silent issue where there's no spoken word or anything like that. So you really get to know Godzilla and follow along with what he's thinking just by his facial expressions. Super fun book to read. And then there's a great cover art gallery to go along with it as extras. And then after that, you also have a pencils and inks gallery. So you get a lot with this book. Some books that are in this small of a package might not include all these extras, but they went above and beyond with it. If you loved Godzilla -1, this is definitely a book to pick up. All right, so that was a quick overview of James Stokes' Godzilla, the Half-Century War, and Godzilla in Hell. Both of those stories were absolutely phenomenal. I have always loved Godzilla. I haven't watched a ton of the original old school black and white Godzilla movies. I have watched some of them, so I do know a lot of the characters, but I haven't read any of the actual comics for them or seen all of the movies. I've seen all the latest movies, in the Legendary universe, and I have seen Godzilla -1, and wow, if you loved Godzilla -1, you are going to friggin' love this book because it is very similar. I did not realize this until I've now read Half-Century War, that -1 seems to have pulled a ton of that idea of long-term half-century storytelling, following a single character and all the people around him as they fight Godzilla and come up with new ways. Now, it doesn't fully stick to -1 doesn't fully stick to the Half-Century War, but it does have that same premise of that long-term concept following that one character. So it was, you have that. So if you loved -1, you are going to absolutely love this book. And I really enjoyed it. They went about it, doing it, fighting Godzilla in creative, cool new ways that I haven't seen before. And that, like in -1, they did a really creative new way of fighting Godzilla too. It's not the same way, which was super fun. When I started to realize what was going on, that it was very similar in vein and tone to -1 and Half-Century War, that they're kind of close together, I got a little nervous that they were going to fight and take on and try and beat Godzilla in the same way, but no, totally different, which was super fun to see and super fun to read. It was a quick read. I think I read it in one sitting, so you can read it super quick. But yeah, if you are interested in Godzilla, definitely check this out. I really hope that they bring us an absolute-sized format version of this book. I know Half-Century War is pretty out of print, hard to find, and that's a bigger formatted book. So I'm really hoping that and hopefully this book has sold well and it continues to sell well, that then they bring us that nice, huge upscaled format of the Absolute Edition, because it's Godzilla. It's the king of all monsters, and he definitely deserves the absolute pristine prestige format. So go out and check out this book. It's super cheap, so it's not a huge investment. So if you loved -1, you may as well buy another ticket, because this one is going to definitely punch it. It's awesome. So that's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification, do all those things. But the most important thing I always say to do is comment. Let me know what your favorite Godzilla monster is. Is it Mothra, Godira, Godzilla? I'm really impartial to Godira or Mothra. But let me know in the comments who your favorite monster is in this MonsterVerse, or what your favorite movie from the entire Godzilla universe is, and why. So let me know which ones I should go out and watch and check out. So, all right, that's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, but obviously comment, please comment. All right, and if you're looking for this, make sure to hit up Organic Price Books. Channel sponsor, you can support me. Use my code Omnibuddy for $2 off every order. Use Omnibuddy, ship it together, all one word, for 5% off your order of 4 or more books. So if you're going to order a bunch of books, toss Godzilla in there and save yourself 5% off. Best shipping, best communication, some of the best pricing you'll find anywhere for comics on the internet. Hit them up. All right, that's it. Take care. Stay cool.